Diddy's world is falling apart, and it's all playing out in real time. First, a judge shut down his $50 million bail offer, keeping him locked up until trial. But now, things have taken a wild turn with new rumors suggesting that Diddy's threatening the judge. Stay locked in because we're about to break it all down. Diddy's bail denied. Man, things just keep spiraling for Diddy, and it's looking worse by the day. His bail hasn't just been denied once, it's been shut down twice. And now there's talk that he might have even threatened the judge. Whether that's true or not, nobody knows for sure, but with everything going down, nothing seems off the table. You'd think with $50 million on the table, he'd walk out of that courtroom, no problem. But even that kind of cash can't change the fact that he's facing some serious charges. The whole bail drama kicked off on Tuesday, the 17th, when Diddy rolled into court after his arrest. He stood before U.S. Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnofsky, pleading not guilty to some heavy charges: racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution. Diddy's legal team tried to pull all the stops, requesting home detention with GPS monitoring on a $50 million bond. This bond was secured by his $48 million Miami mansion and his mom's house nearby. And to show he wasn't playing, Diddy, his mom, and even his daughters all handed over their passports to his legal counsel. His lawyers made it clear: Sean Combs has never evaded, avoided, eluded, or run from a challenge in his life. And to back it up, Mark Agnifilo, Diddy's lawyer, told the press that Diddy willingly flew to New York to face the charges head on.
Mr. Combs came to New York on September 5th. Soon as we realized that this indictment was going to be coming down in a matter of weeks, maybe months, but sometime soon, Mr. Combs got on a plane, left his home in Florida, flew to New York.
But no matter how much Diddy and his squad put on the table, Judge Tarnofsky wasn't having it. She shut it down, saying Diddy was too much of a flight risk and, on top of that, might mess with witnesses. The court wasn't about to take any chances with charges this serious. And to back that up, prosecutors came with the receipts. They claimed that in the months leading up to his arrest, Diddy had been reaching out to victims and witnesses, trying to get them on his side and push his version of the story. That move alone raised some serious red flags. Still, Diddy's team wasn't about to let it slide. They bounced back with an appeal, but this time they were in front of a different judge, U.S. District Judge Andrew L. Carter. They sweetened the deal. Diddy agreed to weekly drug tests, to restrict visitors to just family and caretakers, and to keep a log of every person stepping foot into his Miami mansion. On top of that, no female visitors allowed, except for family. It was a bold move, showing just how desperate Diddy was to get out, but it wasn't enough. Judge Carter wasn't sold. Even with all these conditions, the court still ruled that Diddy was too dangerous to release. His history of violence and his anger issues were a big part of why the judge couldn't take the risk. With his appeal getting shut down, Diddy was sent straight to the Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, in Brooklyn, a place that's known for being straight up hell on earth. And that's not an exaggeration. This facility has been described as an ongoing tragedy, a place that's infamous for its brutal conditions. The MDC is no joke. It's like the worst of the worst. Inmates have been complaining for years about how wild things are in there. We're talking out of control violence and conditions that are straight up inhumane. The place is seriously understaffed, and that just makes everything even messier. On top of that, there's contraband everywhere. Drugs, phones, you name it, and sometimes it's the employees helping to sneak stuff in. And if that's not bad enough, the lockdowns are constant. Prisoners can go days locked in their cells, no calls, no visits, no showers, no fresh air. For Diddy, used to living in mansions and private jets, this is a whole different kind of reality, a far cry from the life he's used to. But how did we even get here? Let's rewind to September 16th, the day Diddy got taken in. What's wild is that Diddy knew the charges were hanging over his head, but he clearly didn't expect the feds to come for him that day. Just hours before his arrest, Diddy was out in Central Park, acting like it was just another regular day. Fast forward a few hours, and Diddy was seen again, this time with his son Christian Combs, still moving like he had no care in the world, completely relaxed, as if he was untouchable. Just 30 minutes before the arrest, Diddy was still chilling with a group of friends, probably cracking jokes, completely unaware that the feds were closing in on him. What started off as a sunny day full of smiles ended with Diddy in handcuffs, facing one of the most serious indictments of his career. And trust me, the details of that indictment is straight up wild.
The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
The indictment against Sean Diddy Combs paints a dark picture of a world built on manipulation and abuse, with the notorious freak-offs at the center of it all. These weren't just parties. Diddy allegedly set them up, directed them, and even recorded the whole thing. According to the indictment, Diddy and his crew used fear tactics and manipulation to lure women into his circle. It would often start off with a romantic vibe, but once they were in, it became something far more twisted. These women were coerced into participating in these freak-offs, where multiple sex workers were involved. It didn't didn't end there. Diddy allegedly went all out for these events, flying in sex workers from across the globe to make sure his parties were next level. Everything had to be perfect. His team would meticulously set up the venues, making sure the most expensive bottles were lined up, and even details like fresh linens were handled with precision. Every single aspect was planned down to the finest detail, ensuring these nights went off without a hitch. Back in March 2024, when federal agents raided Diddy's homes in both Los Angeles and Miami, what they found left everyone stunned. Over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, along with narcotics. The sheer amount of these supplies painted a shocking picture of the scale of these events. But what really shook people were the stories of violent outbursts during these freak-offs. Authorities claimed that Diddy didn't hesitate to get physical when things didn't go his way. Diddy would kick, punch, and even drag women by their hair during these freak-offs. Women were reportedly left with serious injuries, and some needed days to recover. He used the footage from these nights as a weapon, threatening to ruin their lives if they ever spoke out about what went down. What makes these freak-offs even more disturbing is how well they were hidden. Back in 2012, a freak-off got so out of control that a Manhattan penthouse was trashed beyond recognition. Diddy had to pay $46,000 just to cover the damage, not just to replace broken furniture, but to erase any evidence of what went down that night. The indictment also digs deeper into the role of Combs Enterprise, Diddy's network of loyal associates who helped run both his global business and his personal life. These associates allegedly did more than just assist. They used violence, threats, and coercion to keep Diddy's power, reputation, and brand intact. That's why Diddy got hit with the RICO, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act charge. Now, a RICO charge is no small thing. This is usually aimed at taking down organized crime by targeting the leaders behind it all. For Diddy, prosecutors are saying that he committed multiple offenses within a 10-year window that tie back to this broader criminal enterprise. But that's not where it ends. The surprises in Diddy's indictment keep stacking up. During the raid, police also uncovered a stash of firearms at his crib.
As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced.
Following his indictment and the judge denying his bail, Diddy's lawyer came out swinging, talking big, saying Diddy's innocent and he's ready to fight the case with everything he's got.
Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence.
While Diddy's lawyer is pushing hard to prove his innocence, it's hard for a lot of folks to buy it, especially when you hear all the wild details surrounding the allegations against him. The allegations against Diddy. Ever since November 2023, Diddy's been getting hit from all sides with lawsuits, allegations flying in left and right to the point where it's almost hard to keep track. But one of the most damaging lawsuits dropped earlier this year, and it came from none other than his former producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. And let me tell you, the details in this one are wild. According to the lawsuit, between September 2022 and November 2023, Jones was invited to work on 9 tracks for Diddy's Love album. Lil Rod wasn't just working with Diddy, he was practically living with him. Over the course of those months, he spent time in Diddy's homes in LA, New York, and Miami, and even spent several weeks aboard a yacht Diddy rented in the US Virgin Islands. But what seemed like a promising gig soon turned into a nightmare. While staying with Diddy, Jones claims he was constantly dealing with unwanted touching and groping. It didn't matter where they were, LA, New York, Miami, or even out on that fancy yacht. Diddy was allegedly crossing boundaries, and it gets worse. Jones says Diddy even had him working in the bathroom while he strolled around naked, flexing in the shower like it was no big deal. With the glass enclosure leaving nothing to the imagination. Feeling violated and humiliated, Jones decided to speak up. He took his concerns straight to Christina Coram, Diddy's chief of staff. But instead of handling it, Coram just brushed it off. She had the nerve to say, "You know, Sean will be Sean." Like that excused everything. She downplayed the whole situation, calling Diddy's inappropriate touching just friendly horseplay, as if that was supposed to make it okay. In her eyes, it wasn't a big deal. That's just how Diddy rolls. But that wasn't the end of it. Lil Rod also dropped a bombshell, claiming that Diddy tried to groom him into some sexual activities, and it wasn't just with anyone. Diddy allegedly tried to get him involved with fellow producer Stephen Aaron Jordan, better known as Stevie J. Now, for those of y'all who might not know, Stevie J is a big name in the music game. He first blew up back in the 90s as part of Bad Boy Records' production crew, the Hitmen. This man was in the trenches with Diddy, producing some of the biggest hits in hip-hop and R&B. We're talking classics like Mo Money Mo Problems by the notorious Big, I'll Be Missing You by Puff Daddy, and Honey by Mariah Carey. Stevie J's work even earned him a Grammy Award in 1997. audition for his role in Puff Daddy's No Way Out album. According to Jones, Diddy allegedly promised to pull some strings and make sure Lil Rod would take home Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he went along with Diddy's demands, and it doesn't stop there. Jones claimed that during Thanksgiving in 2022 at Diddy's Miami mansion, things got even darker. Diddy, apparently wasted, offered him some cocaine, which Jones refused before heading to the restroom. But that's when things took a disturbing turn. One of Young Miami's cousins allegedly burst into the bathroom and started groping him. Jones believes Diddy orchestrated the whole thing, sending her in to assault him. She wasn't done though. After dropping to her knees and trying to perform oral sex on him, Jones managed to push her away and get out of the bathroom, but she wasn't backing down that easy. She followed him out, stripping off her clothes and trying to straddle him right there in front of Diddy and his staff like it was nothing. Once again, Jones pushed her off. The lawsuit even includes pictures from that day, showing Young Miami and her cousin, further backing up Jones' claims. The lawsuit also claims that Diddy took things even further by showing Jones footage of people getting it on at his cribs, footage Jones believes was secretly recorded through hidden cameras set up all around Diddy's properties. And it didn't stop there. On multiple occasions, Diddy allegedly grabbed Jones's phone and started recording himself, leaving Jones with hundreds of hours of wild footage and audio. The lawsuit also includes screenshots from the footage, allegedly showing Diddy with underage girls and a sex worker, further backing up the claims against him. But the claims against Diddy didn't start with Jones. The first major bombshell came from Cassie, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, whose lawsuit set off a chain reaction and opened the floodgates for other accusations to come forward. According to Cassie's lawsuit, she first met Diddy back in 2005. She was just 19 years old, full of dreams, ready to chase her career. Soon after, they began dating, but that's when things took a dark turn. She described enduring years of physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, which left her feeling trapped and powerless. From the jump, Diddy allegedly took full control of her life. He would constantly give her drugs like ecstasy and cocaine, supposedly using them to keep her under his thumb. Diddy didn't hold back when it came to violence. Cassie claimed he frequently subjected her to savage beatings, leaving her with bruises, busted lips, and black eyes. In one incident back in 2009, things got especially dark after she spoke to another music manager. Diddy allegedly snapped, pushing her into a car and stomping on her face. But it wasn't just hidden behind closed doors. In 2016, one of these violent moments was caught on camera, and that footage leaked in 2024, making headlines earlier this year. The leaked video showed Diddy attacking Cassie in a Los Angeles hotel hallway, exposing the abuse she had endured for years. But it wasn't just physical violence. Cassie also opened up about the emotional torture. She talked about being forced into Diddy's twisted freak-offs, where he'd direct sexual acts between her and sex workers, often while filming. These sessions were fueled by heavy drug use and left Cassie humiliated and degraded, all in the name of Diddy's twisted fantasies. Beyond the physical and emotional abuse, Diddy allegedly used manipulation to keep Cassie tied to him. She claimed he would suppress her music and control her career to make sure she stayed in line, keeping her dependent on him for over a decade. Even though Cassie dropped the lawsuit within a day of filing, it was like opening the floodgates. Her case prompted other women to step forward with their own allegations, bringing even more heat to Diddy. One of those women was Joy Dickerson, who dropped a bombshell lawsuit going all the way back to 1991. Joy claims that while she was a student at Syracuse University, Diddy drugged and sexually assaulted her during a dinner. She says he spiked her drink, leaving her barely able to stand, and then took advantage of her, filming the whole thing. But it didn't stop there. Joy claims Diddy later circulated the footage as revenge porn. The trauma from that night was so bad, she says it made her drop out of college entirely. Diddy, of course, is calling the whole thing a lie, saying it's just another fabricated story. Then there's Jane Doe, who filed her own lawsuit in December 2023. She's accusing Diddy and singer Aaron Hall of gang raping her and a friend over 30 years ago. According to her, after a party at Uptown Records, Diddy and Hall forced them into sexual acts, and things took a turn when Diddy allegedly got violent. Jane Doe says he choked her until she passed out to keep her from telling anyone what went down. And just when you thought the allegations couldn't get any messier, another ex, Gina Nguyen, has had her past claims resurface. Like I said, these accusations keep stacking up, making it harder to keep track of all the drama surrounding Diddy. Gina and Diddy had an on and off relationship for years, and according to her, it wasn't just rocky, it was straight up abusive. She's been vocal about the violence, describing how Diddy would hit her, hurt her, and even stomped on her stomach during one argument. In past interviews, Gina detailed how the emotional and physical abuse took a toll on her, painting yet another picture of Diddy's dark side.
He stomped on my stomach really hard, and I took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe. Took my hair and was dragging me across the grass in my hair with my hair.
But it wasn't just about the physical damage. Just like Cassie, Gina had to deal with constant emotional and mental abuse. She claimed Diddy would tear her down by comparing her to Cassie, telling her that she was the bad one, while Cassie was the good one.
He would always compare me to Cassie and tell me that I'm the bad one and she's the good one.
And while these stories are shocking, the controversies surrounding Diddy go way beyond his relationships. Other major controversies. Diddy's got a laundry list of controversies beyond the lawsuits. It's actually wild. One of the craziest involves a woman who claims Diddy shot her in the face. This all goes back to the infamous 1999 Club New York shooting, one of the most notorious incidents tied to Diddy's name. The shooting went down in the early hours of December 27, 1999 at Club New York in Manhattan. The place was packed, the energy was high, and then out of nowhere, shots rang out, sending the whole club into chaos. In the middle of it all was Natanya Rubin, who caught a bullet right between the eyes. Miraculously, she survived, but she's had fragments of that bullet lodged in her face ever since. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. While Jamal Shine Barrow took the fall for the shooting and got sentenced to 10 years in prison, Rubin has been saying for years that it wasn't Shine who shot her. She's claiming it was Diddy himself who pulled the trigger.
You have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you.
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose.
Rubin says she saw Diddy fire the gun, and she's so serious about proving it that she's willing to have the bullet fragment removed from her face as evidence. Diddy was arrested after the shooting, but was acquitted of all charges, which some say was part of a bigger cover-up to protect him and his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez, who was also at the club that night. Despite the acquittal, Rubin isn't letting it go. She's been fighting for years to get the case reopened, and in 2008, she hit Diddy with a $130 million lawsuit. The case was eventually settled in 2011, but Rubin is still speaking out, saying Diddy's responsible and she won't stop until the truth comes out. And it doesn't end there. Diddy's name has also come up in connection with another huge controversy, the murder of Tupac Shakur. The beef between Diddy's Bad Boy Records on the East Coast and Death Row Records, led by Suge Knight, was one of the most infamous rivalries in hip-hop. It's believed that this East Coast versus West Coast feud played a big role in Tupac's murder back in 1996. According to court documents filed in 2024, Dwayne Keffy D. Davis, who was arrested in connection with Tupac's killing, claimed that Diddy allegedly paid $1 million to have Tupac murdered. The documents highlight that Diddy was allegedly willing to go to great lengths to protect his empire during the height of the East Coast versus West Coast feud, and this included putting a hit on Tupac and Suge Knight. Davis admitted that Diddy was terrified of Suge Knight and the tension that had built up between the two labels. Diddy has repeatedly denied these accusations in the past, dismissing them as false and nonsense.
So we don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother.
And as if that wasn't enough, there's another wild theory floating around that ties Diddy to the death of Michael Jackson. Why? Because of one name, Fahim Muhammad. If you don't know, Fahim was once Michael Jackson's head of security and later became Diddy's top security guy. Based on the lawsuit from Lil Rod, Fahim was known for being Diddy's cleanup man, the one who made problems and people disappear. Fahim allegedly played a major role in covering up incidents, including the 2022 shooting at Chalice Studios. According to Jones, Diddy held a writer's camp at the studio with his son Justin Combs and his friend G present. Things escalated and multiple shots were fired. When the smoke cleared, G was bleeding from his leg and hip while Diddy and Justin calmly walked out. Jones claims Diddy gave strict orders to tell the cops he had nothing to with it, covering up what really went down. And Fahim, he was right there cleaning it all up. But here's the kicker. Fahim was also at the scene when Michael Jackson died.
Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The cleanup guy, Mr. Fahim Muhammad, was also on the scene when Michael Jackson died.
The fact that Fahim later worked with Diddy only adds more fuel to the fire. Some conspiracy theorists believe Diddy's is somehow involved, and that's not even the end of it. There are some wild allegations coming from Jaguar Wright, who's been making waves with her claims that Diddy had a hand in the death of his ex-wife, Kim Porter.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms.
Now, Kim's death was officially ruled as the result of lobar pneumonia, a severe lung infection, and it was labeled as a natural cause. But according to Wright, there's a bigger, darker story underneath the surface. These are some serious allegations, adding to the mountain of legal trouble that Diddy's already drowning in. Right now, Diddy's still sitting behind bars fighting for bail. But if you ask a lot of folks, they'll tell you he's right where he belongs. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.
Breaking news, the Department of Homeland Security has just confirmed to CNN that federal law enforcement agents have raided properties owned by musician and producer Sean Diddy Combs.
Homeland Security agents converging on the home of Sean Diddy Combs.
Officials confirm the raid is tied to a sex trafficking investigation.
Unraveling the dark side of fame, let's delve into P. Diddy's history of allegations, shedding light on disturbing accounts from multiple women who have come forward with their stories. Is the rapper's fate sealed by the recent stir of events? Well, let's find out.
Savage! I'm a savage!
Most recent developments on the rapper.
Tonight, the first public statement from music mogul Sean Diddy Combs following raids on 2 of his homes as part of a possible sex trafficking investigation.
In the glittering world of fame and fortune, there are often dark secrets lurking beneath the surface. And no one knows this better than Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul who has faced a series of shocking allegations throughout his career. Today, we embark on a journey to uncover the truth behind the sexual abuse and sex trafficking allegations that have haunted P. Diddy. In recent years, Combs has been plagued by a series of disturbing allegations. Despite his denial and legal battles, multiple individuals, including ex-girlfriends and anonymous Jane Does, have come forward with their harrowing stories. Meanwhile, these allegations have sent shockwaves through the music industry, tarnishing the reputation of a man once hailed as a visionary and a trailblazer. The claims against Combs are nothing short of shocking, with one of the allegations even involving a minor. The gravity of the situation cannot be understated, as it puts Combs' entertainment empire in jeopardy and raises questions about the culture within the industry. Legal experts have weighed in on the allegations, noting that while it may take time to build a criminal case against Combs, the civil lawsuits could provide investigators with a roadmap. The allegations made in these lawsuits have been enough to convince judges to grant search warrants for Combs' homes, allowing investigators to search for any evidence that may support the claims. The recent federal raid on Combs' estates in Los Angeles and Miami, with Department of Homeland Security agents descending upon his properties, underscores the seriousness of the investigation. The presence of law enforcement, guns drawn, sends a clear message that these allegations are being taken seriously and will be thoroughly investigated. Combs' legal team has vehemently denied the allegations, calling the raids a witch hunt and a gross overuse of military-level force. They argue that the accusations made in the civil lawsuits are baseless and lack any evidence of criminal or civil liability. Combs himself has taken to social media to defend his name, stating that he did not commit any of the awful acts being alleged against him. The women who have come forward with these allegations have shown immense courage in speaking out against a powerful figure in the music industry. Their accounts are deeply disturbing, with claims of rape, assault, and coercion. The lawsuits also allege instances of drugging, recording of sexual acts without consent, and even sex trafficking. As the scandal continued to unfold, another unexpected twist emerged. Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, known for his work in the music industry, linked Diddy to a shooting at a recording studio. Jones accused Diddy of running a racketeering enterprise, further tarnishing the rap mogul's reputation. The gravity of these allegations cannot be understated. They have not only rocked the rap world, but have also raised important questions about accountability and the treatment of women in the music industry. The allegations against Diddy have sparked a larger conversation about the need to hold individuals responsible for their actions, regardless of their fame or influence. Legal experts emphasize that building a case against Combs will require careful examination of the accuser's motives and credibility. Prosecutors will be looking for corroboration, including the number of people accusing Combs of similar acts, as well as any evidence such as videos, recordings, or cell phone records that can place individuals in the same locations or establish communication at the time of the alleged acts. As the investigation unfolds, the world watches with bated breath to see how these allegations against Sean Diddy Combs will be resolved. The outcome of this case will have far-reaching implications for the music industry and the culture surrounding it. In the wake of the shocking allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, the hip-hop mogul now finds himself at the center of a sweeping sex trafficking inquiry. Federal authorities have launched a thorough investigation into these allegations, resulting in a high-profile raid on Combs' estates in Los Angeles and Miami. The seriousness of the situation cannot be overstated, as the presence of Department of Homeland Security agents, guns drawn, sends a clear message that these allegations will be taken seriously and thoroughly examined. Legal experts suggest that building a criminal case against Combs may take time, as sex trafficking investigations require careful gathering of evidence and corroboration. However, the civil lawsuits filed against Combs could provide investigators with a roadmap, offering insights into potential witnesses, locations, and patterns of behavior. The recent raids on Combs' properties have raised questions about the extent of the investigation and the evidence that authorities may have uncovered. While authorities have declined to comment on the case, sources with knowledge of the investigation reveal that federal authorities have interviewed at least 3 women. It remains unclear whether these women are among those who have filed lawsuits against Combs. Legal experts emphasize that sex trafficking cases can be incredibly difficult to prove. In the case of Sean Diddy Combs, investigators will likely focus on the sexual assault allegations involving a minor. Moving a minor across state lines for the purpose of sex is considered sex trafficking, as someone underage cannot legally consent. For adult cases, prosecutors will need to establish coercion or inducement for engaging in sexual activity for money or other incentives. The involvement of the Department of Homeland Security suggests that the women involved in the allegations against Combs may be from other countries. Homeland Security typically investigates sex trafficking operations involving individuals from different countries, as they fall under federal jurisdiction. Legal experts also note that prosecutors will carefully examine the motives of the accusers and look for any inconsistencies in their allegations. The defense team, on the other hand, will likely question why the accusers are only now coming forward and whether they have any ulterior motives beyond seeking justice. The Department of Homeland Security's Investigation Division confirmed that the raids were a crucial part of their efforts to uncover the truth and hold those responsible accountable. However, Diddy's lawyer, Aaron Dyer, expressed his concern over the excessive use of force and hostility exhibited by the authorities during the raids. Dyer argued that there was no excuse for the unprecedented ambush and the advanced, coordinated media presence that accompanied it. He claimed that these tactics led to a premature rush to judgment of his client and characterized the situation as a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. Despite the raids, Diddy himself was not present at either of his properties. According to Dyer, Diddy had spoken to and cooperated with the authorities, indicating his willingness to address the allegations and provide any necessary information. It remains to be seen how the evidence collected during the raids will impact the ongoing investigation and the potential legal proceedings that may follow. Combs himself has taken to social media to proclaim his innocence, vowing to fight for his name, his family, and the truth. As the investigation unfolds, prosecutors will be looking for corroboration, such as the number of people accusing Combs of similar acts. They will also search for videos, recordings, cell phone records, or any other evidence that can place individuals in the same locations or establish communication at the time of the alleged acts. Building a record of incidents that happened some time ago will be crucial for the prosecution. The outcome of this investigation will have far-reaching implications for Sean Diddy Combs and the music industry as a whole. If the allegations are proven true, it could mark the downfall of a once revered figure and send shockwaves throughout the entertainment world. However, it is important to remember that at this stage, Combs has not been charged with any crime, and the investigation is ongoing. The allegations against Sean Diddy Combs have sent shockwaves through the music industry, tarnishing the reputation of a once revered figure. The recent sex trafficking inquiry and federal raids on Combs' properties have intensified the legal battle surrounding him. While Combs and his legal team vehemently deny the allegations, the investigation continues, with federal authorities carefully examining the evidence and motives of the accusers. The potential legal implications for Combs are significant. If the allegations are proven true, it could mark the downfall of a music mogul and have far-reaching consequences for the industry. The outcome of this investigation will not only determine Combs' fate, but also shed light on the culture within the music industry and the treatment of women. As the world watches, the music industry braces itself for the potential impact of this investigation. The allegations against Combs serve as a reminder that no one is above the law, regardless of their fame or influence. The truth will ultimately prevail, and justice will be served. The question remains, will P. Diddy's numerous heinous allegations catch up with him eventually? Will he be convicted if any evidence surfaces after the raid of his properties? Is it really over for P. Diddy? Well, we'll have to find out. Inside P. Diddy's sexual assault and sex trafficking allegations. Over the years, Combs has faced a barrage of troubling accusations, ranging from allegations of sexual abuse to purported involvement in sex trafficking. Despite vehemently denying these claims and engaging in legal battles, numerous individuals, spanning from former partners to anonymous accusers, have bravely stepped forward to share their deeply distressing accounts. P. Diddy, also known as Brother Love, rose to prominence in the 1990s as a rapper, producer, and entrepreneur. With his undeniable talent and charismatic persona, he became a household name, amassing chasing wealth and influence in the music industry. But behind the glitz and glamour, a dark cloud loomed over his reputation. The first whispers of controversy emerged in the late 1990s when P. Diddy faced accusations of violence and assault. In 1991, tragedy struck at a celebrity basketball game when a stampede occurred, resulting in the death of 9 people. While P. Diddy was not directly involved, the incident cast a shadow over his image. Just a few years later, in 1995, another shocking incident rocked P. Diddy's world. A shooting outside a nightclub left 3 people injured, and P. Diddy was charged with illegal gun possession. Although he was eventually acquitted, the incident further tarnished his reputation. But it was in 1998 that P. Diddy's violent encounters took a more personal turn. He was involved in a highly publicized assault on music executive Steve Stout, allegedly over a disagreement about a music video. The incident resulted in legal repercussions and a settlement, further fueling the growing narrative of P. Diddy's aggressive behavior. These controversies were just the beginning of a long and troubled history for P. Diddy. Over the years, he has been involved in altercations with fellow rappers, including J. Cole in 2013 and Drake in 2014, further cementing his reputation as a volatile figure in the music industry. But it was the allegations of sexual abuse and sex trafficking that truly shook the public's perception of P. Diddy. In recent years, several ex-girlfriends, including the talented singer Cassie Ventura, have come forward with disturbing claims of sexual assault and physical abuse. In a courageous move, Cassie filed a civil suit against P. Diddy, detailing years of emotional and physical abuse she endured during their relationship. The suit, spanning over 30 pages, painted a harrowing picture of a man who used his power and influence to control and manipulate her. According to the allegations, P. Diddy subjected Cassie to a relentless cycle of abuse, both emotionally and physically. She claimed that he would often berate and belittle her, using demeaning language to undermine her self-worth. But it didn't stop there. Cassie alleged that P. Diddy would also physically assault her, leaving her with bruises and scars as a constant reminder of his dominance. Perhaps the most horrifying aspect of Cassie's allegations was her claim of being subjected to sex trafficking. She accused P. Diddy of coercing her into engaging in sexual acts with other individuals against her will. Cassie stated that she was forced to participate in these acts under the threat of physical harm and further emotional abuse. The details provided in Cassie's lawsuit were graphic and deeply disturbing. She described instances where she was drugged without her consent, leaving her vulnerable and unable to defend herself against P. Diddy's advances. Cassie also alleged that she was videotaped during these encounters, further violating her privacy and dignity. The severity and specificity of Cassie's allegations sent shockwaves through the industry and the public at large. For years, P. Diddy had been seen as a visionary and a leader in the hip-hop world. His success and business acumen had earned him a place of admiration and respect. But now, the dark underbelly of his personal life was being exposed for all to see. P. Diddy swiftly denied all allegations made by Cassie, vehemently proclaiming his innocence. However, the impact of these allegations was already taking its toll. The public's perception of P. Diddy was shifting, and the once unquestioned admiration was being replaced by skepticism and doubt. In an unexpected turn of events, P. Diddy quickly settled out of court with Cassie, effectively silencing her voice and preventing the case from going to trial. This settlement raised questions about the validity of the allegations and whether justice was truly served. Some wondered if P. Diddy's wealth and influence played a role in the resolution of the case. Despite the settlement, the impact of Cassie's allegations cannot be understated. Her bravery in coming forward has opened the floodgates for more women to share their own stories of abuse at the hands of P. Diddy. Apart from Cassie, a number of women have come forward to table allegations against the rapper. These brave women have accused P. Diddy of using his power and influence to manipulate and control them, leaving a trail of emotional and physical scars. Their stories have shed light on a dark side of the music industry that many never knew existed. The allegations of sexual abuse and sex trafficking against P. Diddy have not gone unnoticed by the legal system. In recent years, multiple Jane Does have come forward, filing lawsuits against the music mogul, accusing him of heinous crimes. To date, 4 separate lawsuits have been filed against P. Diddy, dating back to the early 90s. These brave women have detailed their experiences, shedding light on a dark and disturbing side of P. Diddy's personal and professional life. The allegations made by these women are deeply disturbing and graphic. They claim to have been drugged, coerced into engaging in sexual acts, and even videotaped without their consent. The level of manipulation and control exerted by P. Diddy is shocking, leaving these women traumatized and scarred. One of the victims, who chose to remain anonymous, revealed that she was introduced to P. Diddy through a mutual acquaintance. What started as a seemingly innocent encounter quickly turned into a nightmare. She alleges that P. Diddy drugged her drink, leaving her disoriented and vulnerable. In this state, she was subjected to sexual acts against her will, with P. Diddy exerting complete control over her. Another victim, who goes by the name of Sarah, shared her experience of being coerced into a sexual encounter encounter with P. Diddy. She claims that he used his power and influence to manipulate her, threatening to ruin her career if she didn't comply. Sarah felt trapped and helpless, forced to endure the abuse in silence. The stories of these women are eerily similar, painting a disturbing pattern of behavior by P. Diddy. They describe a man who used his status and wealth to exploit vulnerable individuals, leaving them traumatized and scarred for life. The graphic nature of their allegations is a testament to the severity of the abuse they endured. It is important to note that all of these lawsuits have been filed under the Adult Survivors Act, a bill that allows victims to seek justice regardless of the statute of limitations. This legal framework has provided a window of opportunity for these brave women to hold P. Diddy accountable for his alleged actions. The impact of these additional allegations cannot be understated. They have further tarnished P. Diddy's reputation and raised serious questions about his character. The once admired hip-hop mogul is now facing a reckoning, as more and more people question the true nature of his success and the cost at which it came. The bravery of these women in coming forward has sparked a much-needed conversation about power dynamics, consent, and the importance of holding those in positions of influence accountable for their actions. The allegations of sexual abuse and sex trafficking against P. Diddy have sent shockwaves through the hip-hop industry and beyond. The initial allegations made by Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, shed light on a dark and disturbing side of P. Diddy's personal life. The impact of these allegations has already been felt, with P. Diddy temporarily stepping down from his position as chairman of Revolt and facing severed business ties. The hip-hop industry is at a crossroads, grappling with the implications of these allegations and the need for a cultural reckoning. In response to the lawsuits, P. Diddy has vehemently denied all allegations, stating that they are baseless and motivated by a desire for financial gain. He has hired a team of high-profile lawyers to defend him, vowing to fight for his name and reputation. But the legal battles are not the only challenge P. Diddy is facing. Authorities have launched investigations into the allegations of sex trafficking, raiding his homes, and seizing evidence as part of their ongoing efforts to uncover the truth. The investigations have sent shockwaves through the industry, with many questioning how such heinous crimes could have gone unnoticed for so long. The allegations have also sparked a broader conversation about the prevalence of abuse and exploitation in the entertainment world. While P. Diddy has never been convicted of a serious crime, the mounting evidence and testimonies against him have cast a dark shadow over his legacy. The lawsuits and investigations have not only tarnished his reputation, but have also led to the cancellation of a reality show about his family, as networks distance themselves from the controversy. Everything to know about Diddy and his controversial history.
The new allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, a music producer, is accusing hip-hop mogul of sexually assaulting him and forcing him to have sex with prostitutes. But a lawyer for Combs called the events described in the lawsuit pure fiction.
To have an in-depth look into the music mogul P. Diddy, let's look into his rise to stardom. From his humble beginnings to his groundbreaking achievements, Diddy's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Born on November 4th, 1969 in Harlem, New York City, Sean Combs grew up in a single-parent household. Despite the challenges he faced, Combs had a burning passion for music from a young age. It was this passion that would drive him to pursue his dreams relentlessly. Combs' journey in the music industry began in the early 1990s when he landed an internship at Uptown Records, a prominent record label at the time. This opportunity proved to be a pivotal moment in his life. Combs quickly showcased his talent and work ethic, catching the attention of the label's executives. Impressed by his skills, Combs soon rose through the ranks and became an A&R executive at Uptown Records. It was during this time that he discovered and nurtured the careers of several iconic artists who would go on to shape the landscape of hip-hop and R&B. However, Combs' ambitions didn't stop there. In 1993, he made a bold decision to establish his own record label, Bad Boy Records. This move marked the beginning of a new era in his career and would forever change the music industry. Bad Boy Records quickly gained recognition for its innovative sound and unique approach to music production. Combs' keen eye for talent and his ability to curate groundbreaking collaborations set the label apart from the competition. Artists signed to Bad Boy Records not only achieved commercial success, but also pushed the boundaries of the genre. In 1997, Combs released his debut album, No Way Out, under the name Puff Daddy. The album received critical acclaim and soared to the top of the Billboard 200 chart. It showcased Combs' versatility as an artist, seamlessly blending rap, R&B, and pop elements. The success of No Way Out solidified Combs' position as a force to be reckoned with in the music industry. With his undeniable talent and entrepreneurial spirit, Combs expanded his his empire beyond music. In 1998, he launched the clothing line Sean John, which quickly became a fashion phenomenon. Sean John's stylish designs and innovative marketing strategies garnered widespread acclaim and numerous awards. Combs' influence extended to the television industry as well. In 2013, he co-founded the network Revolt, which aimed to provide a platform for diverse voices in music and culture. Combs also made appearances on popular shows like MTV's reality series Making the Band, and even ventured into acting, appearing on Hawaii 5-0 among other projects. Today, Combs' net worth is estimated at a staggering $1 billion, making him one of the top entrepreneurs under 40, according to Fortune magazine. His impact on the music industry and popular culture as a whole is undeniable. However, from high-profile lawsuits to criminal charges, his journey has been marred by a series of shocking events. It all started in 1991, when Diddy found himself at the center of a tragic incident that would forever tarnish his reputation. At a celebrity basketball game and concert, Diddy was cited for hiring inadequate security measures. The consequences were devastating. 9 people lost their lives and 29 others were injured. This shocking event raised questions about Diddy's responsibility and the safety precautions taken at his events. 4 years later, in 1995, another incident rocked Diddy's world. A member of his entourage was killed outside a nightclub, sparking a violent rivalry between Diddy's Bad Boy Records and Death Row Records. This rivalry would escalate into a feud that would dominate headlines and further fuel the controversies surrounding Diddy. In 1998, Diddy's explosive temper and willingness to resort to violence came to the forefront once again. He, along with 2 others, attacked music executive Steve Stout after a music video controversy. This incident showcased Diddy's volatile nature and his inclination to use physical force to resolve conflicts. The following year, in 1999, Diddy's controversies reached a new level of intensity. He and his artist Shine were involved in a shooting at a nightclub, resulting in 3 people being injured. The incident sent shockwaves through the industry and raised serious questions about Diddy's involvement. However, despite the gravity of the situation, Diddy was ultimately acquitted of all charges, leaving many wondering about the true extent of his role in the incident. The controversies of the 1990s set the stage for the turbulent path that Diddy would continue to walk in the years to come. These events not only shaped public perception of him, but also had a profound impact on the music industry as a whole. Diddy's willingness to engage in violence and his association with such incidents became defining aspects of his controversial history. Meanwhile, in 2013, Diddy allegedly found himself in yet another physical altercation, this time with rapper J. Cole at an MTV VMAs afterparty. The details surrounding the incident remain murky, but it once again highlighted Diddy's propensity for resorting to violence when faced with conflict. A year later, in 2014, Diddy made headlines once again for his alleged involvement in a physical altercation, this time with none other than Drake. The dispute reportedly stemmed from a disagreement over a beat, and it escalated to the point where Diddy allegedly punched Drake. This incident further solidified Diddy's reputation for engaging in physical altercations to resolve conflicts within the music industry. Diddy's controversies were not limited to the music industry alone. In 2015, he found himself embroiled in a scuffle with a UCLA football coach. The altercation occurred after Diddy's son was criticized by the coach, leading to a heated confrontation. This incident shed light on Diddy's protective nature when it comes to his family and his willingness to defend them, even if it means resorting to physical force. As the years went on, more controversies and allegations continued to surface. In 2019, Diddy's ex-girlfriend Gina Hewing accused him of physical abuse throughout their relationship. This accusation added to the growing list of allegations against Diddy and raised serious concerns about his treatment of women. But it was the allegations of sexual abuse and sex trafficking that truly shook the public's perception of P. Diddy. In recent years, several ex-girlfriends, including the talented singer Cassie Ventura, have come forward with disturbing claims of sexual assault and physical abuse. These brave women have accused P. Diddy of using his power and influence to manipulate and control them, leaving a trail of emotional and physical scars. Their stories have shed light on a dark side of the music industry that many never knew existed. As a result of these controversies, Diddy has faced significant legal battles and business consequences. He settled a lawsuit with liquor company Diageo, with whom he shared ownership of the tequila brand De Leon. Additionally, he faced backlash from companies, including Hulu, which canceled a reality show centered around him. Several brands also severed ties with his online marketplace for Black-owned businesses. Most recently, Diddy's homes were raided by law enforcement officials as part of an investigation related to alleged sex trafficking and RICO charges. This ongoing investigation has already seen several accusers interviewed by investigators. Diddy has vehemently denied all allegations and has vowed to fight for his his name and reputation. The controversies surrounding Diddy have undoubtedly shaped his public image and raised questions about his character. While he has achieved great success in the music industry, his controversial history continues to be a topic of discussion and debate. Throughout his career, Diddy has also faced legal troubles related to driving with a suspended license and labor violations in his clothing brand, Sean John. However, it is the recent wave of sexual misconduct allegations that has garnered significant attention. Multiple individuals have come forward with accusations against Diddy, leading to legal action and federal investigations. The fallout from these controversies has been substantial, with brands cutting ties and business ventures being affected. Despite the challenges, Diddy has managed to maintain a successful career in the music industry, receiving numerous awards and accolades for his contributions. It is important to acknowledge the impact of these controversies on Diddy's legacy. While his achievements in the music industry cannot be denied, the controversies have undoubtedly left a mark on his reputation. It is up to the audience to form their own opinions and judgments based on the facts presented. As the legal battles and investigations continue, the world waits with bated breath for the truth to be revealed. Will justice be served, or will P. Diddy manage to evade the consequences of his alleged actions? Well, time will tell. Thank you for joining us as we explored the recent developments surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. Stay tuned for more updates on this ongoing investigation by clicking on the next card on the screen. Until next time,